Hello everyone, it's great to have you here today. I'm excited to start a lesson together. And I want to start by asking you this question. If I were to say list 50 prepositions to me, would you be able to? My guess is the answer is no. Probably some of you are sitting there thinking, I don't even know what a preposition is. That's okay. Or maybe you're thinking, I think I know what a preposition is. Maybe I could tell you 5, not 50. Well, there's actually 150 prepositions in the English language. I'm not expecting you to memorize them all, but we will be memorizing quite a few over the course of the next few lessons. But don't worry, we'll be breaking them up into sections. And once we're done this little quick segment, I think you're going to have a better idea of what a preposition is, and you're going to realize you know a lot more than you think you do. So let's start with a quick activity. I'm going to show you a picture. I want you to think about it. This chair, it's a pretty simple picture, right? It's just a chair sitting there. You're probably sitting in one right now. I'm sitting in one right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to think for a second about all the ways and positions you could be with this chair. So I'll give you one. I could be sitting on the chair. I'll give you one other. I could be next to the chair. I want you to think about all the other positions. A little stick figure man, pretend he's in this picture, or she, and imagine where that stick figure person could be in relation to this chair. We have on the chair, next to the chair. I want you to try to think of 3 or 4 other ones. I'll give you about a minute. And then I want to see some of your answers. You can start sending them to me right now. I see some really great answers. Let me say some of them out loud. And as I say some, you're probably going to start thinking of more and more. Write them down. I want to hear your answers. So we have on the chair, next to the chair. You could be scared and be hiding under the chair. You could be behind the chair. You could be near the chair. You could be on top of the chair. The chair could be flipped over and you could be sitting on the back of the chair. You could be doing so many things in relation to this chair. So, you did great with that. Now, I'm going to ask you a little harder one. This is a river. Do you see it? With all the waves going? We need to get from one side of the river to the other. I'm going to start a sentence and I want you to finish by telling me exactly how you're going to get from one side of the river to the other. Let me give you an example. I'll say, we are going to go across the river, and then tell me how. So you could say, on a boat. Okay? So across the river on a boat. I'm going to give you that example. But you can imagine other things there. You could imagine a bridge. You could imagine you have scuba gear. You could imagine a lot of other ways to get across. You could imagine something like that. So this is a little harder. I'm going to give you a little more time to think about it. So I gave you one. We could go across the river on a boat. Now, how will you go across the river? I am going to go across the river. Go ahead. Okay, I saw some really great answers. So, one of you said, I'm going to go across the river on a bridge. One of you said, over a bridge. One of you said, with a friend. One of you pretended you had scuba gear and said that you're going to go under the waves. Those are all excellent answers. So let me tell you what you just did. In that short period of time, you guys have listed a lot of prepositions. In the first one, we talked about the chair. When you said on, or under, or behind, or next to, you were giving me prepositions. When we talked about the river, and I said, how are you going to travel across the river? And you said, over a bridge, or under the waves. You were giving me a prepositional phrase, which is even more advanced than just a preposition. You're doing great. So, what we're going to be doing over the next few lessons is understanding that a preposition tells us our position. It's important to know. So if you're taking notes right now, you should write that down. A preposition tells us our position. Tells us in the way of a prepositional phrase. It's okay if you're still a little lost right now. We're going to understand it really well in the future. So, everything we talk about, when we're talking to our friends, we tell them, the other day I was on the bus with a friend, or next to Charlie. Or you could say, I was running across the field. We use them all the time. You use them. If you start thinking about your sentences, I'm sure there's a lot. So, keep that in mind. Remember that a preposition tells us our position. Over the next few lessons, you're going to hear all the prepositions that we most commonly use. And then I'm going to show you how to use them effectively in your writings. All right, have a great day.